It's the middle of 2020, and the Battle Royale genre is exploding. Warzone just came out, it's doing well, Fortnite is still booming from its previous years, and Apex Legends just had a phenomenal year. But out of all the major publishers, Ubisoft never made a Battle Royale until August 2020, that being called Hyperscape, a brand new futuristic Battle Royale. It sounds really cool on paper, but sadly after 2 years, Ubisoft would shut down the servers completely. First, we have to understand Hyperscape. So Hyperscape was your typical Battle Royale with 100 players with a shrinking zone. But the main difference with Hyperscape than other Battle Royales is instead of the circle just shrinking in a circular motion, as the game would progress, random sectors on the map would disappear. So like, if I could put this in like Fortnite terms, imagine like Tilted Towers, you just couldn't go there, but you can go to like everywhere else. The game also was a little bit different because once the last sector was closed, a crown would appear and any player that was still alive was able to grab the crown. And if you held onto the crown for 60 seconds, you would automatically be the winner. But for the gameplay loop and your typical core gameplay, players can find both weapons as well as special abilities known as hacks, such as letting people transform into a giant ball from which they can bounce around with, or letting them become invisible. Players can only have 2 weapons and 2 hacks at the same time. So if this game is so cool and unique, why did it fail? Well, for starters, in October 2020, this would be about a month and a half after the release of the full game, Ubisoft announced that the game is losing players and it failed to meet expectations from the player base and from the company. The main guy that is ahead of the game, is called Andy, and he stated that he believes the game is too hard and kind of boring, and that in the future there will be huge updates and huge overhaul mechanics. And this is what they promised. They promised better combat controls because they claim that it is extremely hard to use a controller. They promised a better onboarding experience. They say that new players are having a hard time to learn the game. They promised new modes, which is true. They added some respawn modes like TDM and the floor is lava. And finally, they promised crossplay, which was added December 17th, 2020. So these aren't the craziest changes ever for the game, but did it actually help the game in any way? The simple answer is no. The game was losing players super fast, and with no meaningful changes happening and very slow updates to the game, there was no new players that were excited to download the game, and there was just nothing really happening for the game, so the game was completely dead. Ubisoft announced the final season, which was Season 3 Shadow Rising, would come out January 27th, and 90 days from that season launch, they would shut down the game completely on April 27th, 2022. If you want to see how these 2 games failed, click right here.